You're listening to a GWP weather update. It's Saturday, April 25th, 2026, and in today's weather update, we're going to give you an update on our storm chances as we go into this weekend and Monday across the state of Missouri. So let's go ahead and start off by looking at the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook for today, Saturday, and you'll notice that we do have that moderate risk across southern Oklahoma, but the main risk is going to be staying to our southwest here. So moderate, that's a 4 out of 5 on the storm prediction scale when it comes to severe weather. And then we've got that orange category across eastern Oklahoma. And then a little bit of southwestern Missouri is under that marginal risk for severe weather. So again, overall, the majority of the area is not under the severe weather threat. In the area that is under the risk, it's very low overall, as the main severe weather risk for today is going to be across Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. A lot of it will stay to our southwest. But for instance, in Joplin and Kansas City and Nevada, we could be looking at a few scattered storms for later this evening. Looking at that tornado risk, we don't have it for the state of Missouri, but we do have that tornado risk across Oklahoma and Texas. We could be looking at tornadoes up to EF3 strength across that region. And then we're also going to be looking at a wind threat. That's really going to be the main concern for us here, but also hail is going to be another threat, potentially upwards of baseball-sized hail across Oklahoma and Texas. For us, we're looking at quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to be the biggest concern that we have for today across the state of Missouri. Looking a little bit closer at the severe weather risk here in the area. So again, Joplin and Nevada is under that marginal risk for severe weather. This is actually an outdated map, but Joplin is now no longer under that 2 risk. In fact, let's go ahead and highlight the new area is right in here that's under that 1. So this is all a 1 out of 5, which again covers our entire area. So 1 out of 5 for that severe weather risk for today. Again, hail up to the size of golf balls and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour are going to be possible. As far as timing on these storms, they will develop around 5 or 6 o'clock. By the time they make it here in Missouri, it will be around 7, 8, 9 o'clock is what we're going to be watching. So again, most of the afternoon is going to be fine. Even most of the evening is going to be fine. But as we get into the late evening and overnight hours, storms will start to roll in here across the state of Missouri, especially for our southwestern counties. Let's go ahead and go to the tropical. Here's tropical tidbits. Their future cast. So here's 6 o'clock. We've already seen those storms developing across Oklahoma. That's where the majority of our risk is going to be at. But again, a much smaller risk as some of these storms will move into our southwestern counties. So here's Joplin, here's Nevada, here's Springfield, getting into these storms around 8, 9 o'clock. Again, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, and again, some quarter-size hail is going to be possible. A brief tornado cannot be ruled out, but it is very low. It's even lower than what we've had over the past several days. 11 o'clock, storms continue to move a little bit towards the east, and then eventually they will fall apart by around midnight or 1 o'clock. So the main severe weather window, and this is when our live stream window is going to be, is from 7 p.m. to midnight. That's going to be the main threat as far as the timing goes for the wind and hail that we are going to be dealing with some of these storms. The rest of the viewing area is expected to stay dry with tonight's round of storms. Then we go into tomorrow, and we're going to be seeing that severe weather threat just a little bit further to the north across Kansas and western Missouri. We've got that enhanced risk for our northwestern counties. That's just to the north of Nevada, not including Nevada, and then going up to the Kansas City area where we're under that enhanced risk. We've also got a slight risk for our western and central counties, and then a marginal risk, that's a 1 out of 5 in the green across our eastern counties. Tornado threat is going to be pretty low across the area. We're in that 2% category across our western and central counties. As far as wind goes, that's going to be a big concern, but our biggest threat tomorrow is going to be large hail. We do have a hatched area for our western and central counties where we could be looking at 2-inch or greater hail across those areas as we go into the afternoon hours for tomorrow. So tomorrow's severe weather threat is going to be a little bit closer to the viewing area. A much larger area is going to be included under this risk, and it's also going to be earlier during the day. We are looking at the possibility, as it mentions here from the National Weather Service and Springfield's weather story, they mention that there's the potential for 2 rounds of storms. We're looking at some thunderstorms during the afternoon and then another larger complex that's going to be more widespread during the evening hours. So our best chance of thunderstorms is going to be during the evening, but the afternoon thunderstorms are going to have the higher tornado risk. So basically, afternoon lower risk, but higher threat level. As far as the evening storms, we're going to have a higher risk of it happening, but a lower threat level, if you want to look at it like that. Again, our main concerns is going to be hail, possibly upwards of golf ball to maybe even tennis ball size hail, and then damaging winds, 60 mile per hour. It's going to be possible. And then that secondary hazard, that less of a threat, is going to be that tornado threat. Again, our far northwestern counties, Butler, Harrisonville, and Kansas City under an enhanced risk, and then a 2 out of 5 for the majority of the rest of the area. Lake of the Ozarks, Lebanon, Jefferson City, and Columbia is under that marginal risk as we go into tomorrow. As far as the timing on these thunderstorms, around 3 o'clock, that's when our first round of thunderstorms is going to move through. This particular future track is not really showing a whole lot of development. As we mentioned, it's very low risk during the afternoon, but those are the storms that are going to have the higher potential when it comes to seeing severe storms. So those storms will clear out by about 6 or 7 o'clock, but they'll start around 2 or 3. We'll have to see. We might not even see any storms during the afternoon. And then the evening storms are going to roll through during the overnight hours, potentially even into the early morning hours on Monday as well. We will do a live stream if there are severe storms during the afternoon and evening hours for tomorrow. Now, in this situation, 2 or 3 o'clock, we wouldn't be doing a live stream at that point. So that is when you would need to have your phones on so that you can get those life-saving weather alerts issued from the government. So that's what we're going to be seeing on Sunday. And then once again on Monday, we got 3 days in a row of this. We've got another severe weather threat on Monday. This is mainly going to be for our eastern counties. At least that's where the highest threat level is going to be. This is not going to be an overnight threat. This is only going to happen during the afternoon hours. So let's go ahead and show you the area that's at risk. So we're talking really Columbia and Jefferson City is right on that edge of that enhanced risk, but the majority of the area is under that slight risk. That includes Lake of the Ozarks over to Sedalia, Osage Beach, Lake of the Ozarks, Springfield, and then we've got Stockton Lake, Monette under that marginal risk, and then Joplin and Nevada. Your severe weather threat is going to be over after Sunday night. So Monday's severe weather threat is for only our central and eastern counties. Our western counties are not expecting any storms on Monday. The storms are going to develop right over our central and eastern counties, and then they will move further towards the east. So that is why our western counties are not under that risk, because the storms will not develop until they've already moved out of that area. So that's the important thing about that risk on Monday. And then showing you the future cast on this here. So around 2 or 3 o'clock, our thunderstorms will begin to develop across central Missouri, and then they should move out by about 7 o'clock on Monday evening. So Monday, late evening and overnight, we're not going to have that severe weather threat. There will still be thunderstorms, but they will have moved out of the area in the state of Missouri. Then on Tuesday, there's a very slight risk of storms, but after that, there is no rain chances expected through the remainder of next week. And we are also going to have much cooler temperatures with highs in the 60s with lows in the 40s as we go into next week. So that's going to be another really big change that we're going to be experiencing next week. So if you put all of your winter jackets away, you might want to bring them back out, because next week we are going to have some cooler temperatures, and that will lower at least the risk for some of our severe storms. All right, well, that is it for this GWP weather update. Stay safe, and we'll keep you updated, and have a great weekend.